Oh man, I need a haircut. All right, before I get into this one, I just want to address something I heard a lot from the last one. The brutally roasting one, which is people are like, oh my god, you're so harsh, you're so intolerable, I'd never want to work with you. I'm not like that in real life. It's just like, if you say brutally roasting a portfolio, brutally roast it. Like, people just use adjectives these days and just, they don't actually want any meaning out of them. They're like, damn, that's crazy, that's wild. And what you're saying is like, I don't give a fuck. It's just like nothing. So yeah, when I use adjectives, I use adjectives. But with that being said, this is the best portfolio website I've ever seen, and I'll go over exactly why. So first of all, it just looks great. You can see all this, the color scheming is excellent, these little highlights in the text. The mono font is really nice. You can see this is like an actual programmer. The text is like super minimal. It's not like an absolute wall of AI generated jargon and mumbo jumbo. And then of course you've got this like really beautiful, what are these things called? I'm not very medically gifted. Ryan's thing when guy dies. Oh yeah, ECG. That's pretty sick. I don't know if these are being generated on the fly or what, but they look really nice as a background. Shows you can do some web animation. And then, like, this is just like someone who's been a professional for a long time. It shows you like his immediately what he does. I'm a medical student on the pathology track with a parallel career as a software architect. I combine medical domain knowledge with deep engineering experience to build medical AI platforms with the large-scale distributed systems that power them. Interest in computational pathology or medical AI architecture, let's talk. So this is just like great all around. I know this guy. He's like a genius. So if you're like a junior engineer, don't feel super bad about this portfolio review, but this guy is a doctor and cracked at software engineering. Like, this guy's got it all. And then he's got his GitHub, and then his email written out like this. Instead of putting one of those goddamn like email me contact forms that's like just shittily vibe coded and you don't know if it'll work or not, so you always go and send them an email because email's way more reliable. This guy just knows that, drops it there so it can't be ripped off by a web scraper, and then also he has like a copy to clipboard action, and this keeps it all client side. You don't want to deal with like a whole form validation and everything on that. That's just dumb. So let's look at his projects. So Synapse AI native learning management system, working title. Intuitive scale learning management system. Let's see. You can read all through this. This is like just an excellent overview. And then this, I'm actually kind of on board putting the little badges of what technologies things use. What I don't like is that people doing skill constellation without attaching it to a project. And just having like just a bunch of trying to maximize the number of little boxes. Like, oh yeah, I wrote one Rust file once. I wrote like a prime verifier. I wrote like a single like string manipulation library, and then I put Rust all over my skill constellation. It's like this guy actually built out a working full stack project fully in these languages, and you can see like he just knows hella shit about hella shit. Like, using Lean and Prolog immediately puts you out of the camp of like junior vibe coder completely. Like, this is just stuff that AI cannot really help you with. It's just too big, too large scale, too much of a complete project, too well thought out. All right, Seer, hybrid neural keyword search engine, multimodal search engine that blends neural and old school keyword approaches for robustness, predictability, and controllable retrieval. Seer ingests the full spectrum of medical school curriculum assets, slideshows, PDFs, videos, images, Anki, decks, more via Kafka backend pipelines and Rust plus Postgres K8s core. Designed for high throughput, low latency, used by both humans and AI agents, serves as a principal search backend for Synapse. That's just like an awesome project. And then Cyto, biomedical research at scale, early stage platform for biomedical analysis of target applications in bioinformatics, biochemistry, and computational pathology. The computational pathology and putting your interest in some other field other than just web development or web design or something that's like kind of basic is like phenomenal. Putting having like an interest that is loosely overlapping with computer science is just amazing. And it doesn't totally have to be serious. Like if you're really into speed solving Rubik's Cubes, I know people that build tooling for that, but I will say that's a little overdone. Medical stuff is like the absolute bomb of like, this is just so respectable, both from an employment perspective and just like a humanitarian perspective. Like this guy he's devoting his life to like keeping people alive. This is just like a great ass guy, and he's really interested in that. And computational pathology, I mean, come on, what a fucking awesome field. That's just so like specific, and the way he like really got into AI, and like he focused deep on something. You can see all these projects kind of involve different ML and AI applications. He's like it's not like a broad putting my toes in all the different areas of software engineering. I can do a little web dev, I can do a little backend, I use fast API. Here's like a bunch of badges of technologies I've heard of. It's like the proof is in the pudding that these projects are done, and they're just so specific and so well built out. It's honestly like this is a dream portfolio all around. Let's see what other projects he's got. This one is very interesting. This guy took my community, and on my GitHub channel forum, I can actually link this specific thing, but let's see, where's the issue that addresses this? Mentoring, maybe we'll bring it up. Mentorship opportunities. Yeah, this is the guy. He basically pulled like a ton of people from my community into a Discord server where he like mentored a bunch of them and gave them a bunch of experience building these projects. So he's also just like open source research and engineering lab I founded to explore medical AI, educational software, creative computing, as well as providing collaborative environment for mentoring junior engineers. Now community of over 40 members, built on shared enterprise grade infrastructure with storage observability. If you're looking for projects to work on, this guy can hook you up. But I hope I'm not going to like overwhelm this guy's Discord server by saying that. But yeah, this is just like, it's incredible to see like, I don't know, just like how advanced these projects are, how many of them kind of rely on like research and papers. And this is the type of dude who like goes and reads. This is a great example of it. But like, instead of scrolling on TikTok, this guy scrolls on Google Scholar. Like the Google Scholar servers see his IP address and they're like, oh shit, we're about to scale up like a huge load. They spin up like another 7 clusters to accommodate the vast amount of like super difficult academic papers this guy's about to download and breeze through. High-performance vector database engine that treats geometry as a first-class concept. So this is like a computational geometry project. TesseraDB emphasizes explicit topology so that the spatial relationships are queryable, interpretable, and stable under incremental updates. Its core algorithms are built around topology-aware neighborhoods rather than naive brute force comparisons. Multiple optimization layers ensure that query and update performance remain within soft, real-time constraints. And like, this is all built in Zig. This guy just like banged this out in like a day. This dude is like just an absolute beast. I don't know how he does this stuff. Like, this is the type of guy that if you know him and like you have kids, you want your kids to be talking to this guy's kids in school, because they're gonna grow up to be just chads. Multiplayer Doom in the browser, and he's got this hosted too. Massively scalable platform for playable Doom. WAD Solar with friends directly in the browser. Gib combines comprehensive WAD. I'm not sure what a WAD is. I guess it's like some kind of custom like Doom experience browser for a multi-terabyte corpus built with Rust, C-based game services, WebAssembly, WebRTC clients, and NATS Jetstream. Coordinate matchmaking, session management, and context delivery. Source code is open and existence is frictionless with no account is required. Another thing I want to stress is looking at this guy's GitHub, which I should have done in other videos, but this is the open source lab. Let's see if we can find, his GitHub's on his website at the top actually. This guy's GitHub is like, he does not give a fuck about image, which I am so jealous of, and like I relied on way too much, and it was just like a game I played. Like, I care way too much about my image, and like I'm chasing the GitHub badges, and well, I don't do that anymore. That's dumb as shit. But when people have like 2,500 badges and all these things on their GitHub, it's like, and it just, their projects suck. This is like the absolute opposite of that. Like 88 repositories. Bro didn't even bother to pin the last repository because he's so busy just cranking out like software that's saving the world. And Like nobody, like there's like no attention to these projects because he just doesn't give a fuck. He's talking to the people that actually matter. Also, another green flag is any use of Svelte, because if you use Svelte, I can immediately tell, because the vibe coding workflow isn't great at Svelte yet. It's like, you care about developer experience. You've developed a lot of React over the years. You know what's up. You know what's up with Svelte. It's just way nicer. I guess let's check out what gib.gg looks like. Also, not to mention, this is a whole ass like Kubernetes. Like this is a full built out full stack systems engineering. This is a great project. Plus it's just like fun concept. And it's not like a, I don't know, it's just shitty e-commerce vibe coded website. I'm really against vibe coding. I should talk about that maybe a bit more. It's like, it's not that I'm against AI tools. They're definitely starting to be used and the agent workflows are getting better, but for your portfolio, you're building something of quality, not quantity. I don't know. It's like if you wanted to be an apprentice to like the best weaver, and she's like an old woman in rural England, and she's been weaving all her life, and you're like, yo, look, I like socially engineered my way into this Chinese factory. Check out these like cheap ass blankets that I made 50 of. Aren't you impressed? Won't you take me as an apprentice? Fuck no. All right, let's keep going through the projects. Scalable live streaming infrastructure. Distributed fault-tolerant HLS broadcasting infrastructure built around a real operational need. Resilient ingest... Resilient ingest, horizontal scale, and clear primitives for orchestration and recovery. Strim provides the building blocks for products like Synapse and GibGG holding... sick. This guy has his own like media streaming library that he like that props up his other projects. That's also an absolute Chad move when you see it. You're like, a lot of projects are connected and you have like back-end library infrastructure that you rolled yourself. Like you had a problem, you just fixed it. Not to say that using dependencies is bad, but like you can tell someone is really good when there was kind of a low-level problem they couldn't fix, and instead of like giving up, they just like rolled their own library. Like a library didn't exist. And Rust FFmpeg K8s, that's a pretty serious little back-end project. I wonder what the source code of this looks like. All right, 2 weeks ago. Yeah. What's interesting is all his commits are ellipses. I'm not sure what's up with that. That's a little strange, but other than that, like, it's very difficult to... I was looking at this project that was open sourced, TesseraDB, which has a similar like kind of brief history. I guess he doesn't even use version control because he's so cracked or something, but like this is just huge amounts of raw Zig. There is no way you could vibe code it. It's like Zig is kind of a... People who use languages that are stable or like they're more on the cutting edge, but it's like you can tell that those people really actually care about the craft, as opposed to someone who like says they genuinely love like TypeScript plus React or plus like Next plus Tailwind. Like nobody likes that. It sucks ass. Everyone would rather use Svelte, but yeah. Okay. What else we got? ARG content, various creative content sites for an unannounced collaboration with my open source lab, cluster of ARG creative content sites, each its own small experiment backed by shared Rust K8s infrastructure. The goal is to make you smile while quietly proving out real interaction patterns at web scale. Enter username, root, and password. Password if prompted by login. I wanted to also real quick go back to this. I forgot to mention it, but if you see anyone ever, maybe I did, using Lean or Prolog to verify something formally on a project, like that is a scary ass project. That's a fucking good project. If you've got a need for Lean, you know you're doing something right, because that's some serious like high level abstract math validity to a program. This is the type of person that's pulling together cutting edge research on machine learning and stuff to make things happen. And then AI portfolio, this might be a little earlier on in his career. Various medical AI implementations, collection of machine learning projects, scanning time series and analysis, computer vision, NLP, and classical ML foundational work that shaped my focus on medical AI and large-scale systems. This is the biggest repository at 19, and he's got a showcase site for it. Okay, showcase site might not run. I'll have to dock you for that, but other than that, cool. So there's some commit names. This is just like a great thing to do. Like I see too much, and I did it initially just because it's the norm. Like creating projects, like putting all this time into the name and the branding of the project, and it's like just a shitty wrapper on a basic concept. Whereas this guy just took like just a ton of different like AI. There's a list here somewhere, like all these different papers, and just kind of implemented them as practice. It's not like groundbreaking. This is my company. This is my startup that I'm starting on GitHub. It's like I'm just going to implement all of these algorithms for my own understanding. This is just fucking awesome. For like, this is an employer's wet dream. All right. And then finally we got eShadow. That's nice. I'm going to give you a fat zoom on that picture. Actually, that'll probably get me demonetized. I'm not going to cut that out though. Proof of concept platform for integrating real-time transcription, medically aware natural language processing, and automatic reference retrieval, and enhanced remote physician shadowing. Built during COVID-19 pandemic to improve remote shadowing experience, it demonstrates end-to-end pipeline from live audio to structured education scaffolding using Go, Flutter, Arcade as backend services. This is also just great because it shows like this guy, you want this guy in your team because he's like a doctor, right? And he's probably shadowing, and he shows up and he does this work, and then he's such like a driven, motivated individual that in his free time he's like, all right, I'm gonna throw together like something to help automate our work here. If you are like I guess this guy's probably gonna work as a doctor, but it seems like you're more ideally cut out to kind of be a doctor slash software architect. Like you should not stop programming with these kinds of abilities, but this is like, this guy will show up, he's a fucking doctor, and on top of that he's gonna like make the whole job a lot easier, and he's just gonna be able to wrestle with the software around this too. This is like yeah, you've got to have like a 180 IQ to pull something like this off, but if you can, you're definitely going to get hired. So I would try to do something like that. Hopefully there's some actionable advice on this. Yeah, this is just what like the perfect portfolio looks like in my opinion. It's just like everything is good about this. Let me know what you thought about this one, or if you have other portfolio. People send me like hella portfolios to roast, and like a lot of them are kind of the same, and to be honest, like you can get all the information you need from already watching the portfolio videos I've put out. I find there's a tendency that I have too, but you should, if this is you should work on overcoming it, to keep asking questions when you already know the answer, and deep down like you already kind of know what the problem is with your portfolio, and most of the time it's like you just don't have good projects actually. But yeah, it's something where you're like, oh, maybe if this guy roasts my portfolio in particular, I'll get like a little key insight that I don't have, and I'll know what to tweak, and then it'll be good. And that's unfortunately like not the issue. And in general, like, I don't know, that's a pattern I find myself falling into a lot, where it's like, if only I could know this piece of information, then I would be able to like unlock everything. Then it would all make sense. And that's like never the case. It just, that doesn't happen. Yeah. I don't know, that got kind of weird and meta at the end. All right, I'll fucking see you next time.